Walk me through physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually, all the dimensions. What were you going through when you were standing there on stage?
Oh, it was crazy moments. I honestly feel like I kind of black out in those moments. But, from what I can remember, I'm standing on the stage with 4 other incredible women who were all so deserving. 4th runner-up got called. 3rd runner-up was called. 2nd runner-up was called. It was just a crazy moment. My heart was beating outside of my chest. The announcer says, the first runner-up to Miss Georgia USA is...
Welcome to Plugged In, a City of Winder podcast. I'm Katie Strickland, your host, and we have a lot to talk about today. So first of all, did you come to Pep Rally, the first Friday event that we recently hosted? We hope you did, and if you didn't, there's an opportunity to come to all the other events that we have on the schedule. You can find those on our website. Just go to www.cityofwinder.com/events. Also, we celebrated a lifetime achievement for Mr. John Stell. Mr. Stell served the City of Winder as city attorney for 37 years. So it was a lifetime of an achievement. So we were able to honor him with a nice celebration at the community center. And we're just so very thankful for his time and his service to our citizens and to the many councils and mayors that he served during his tenure. Last but not least, if your home was built in 1990 or earlier, you may see some of our Winder Utilities Department crews in your yard looking inside your meter box. No need to be alarmed. We're just taking inventory of the materials that are in the ground. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, we get to sit down and talk with Miss Emmaline Farmer, who was recently crowned the 2024 Miss Georgia USA pageant winner. Welcome, Emmaline. Thank you so very much for taking the time to come be on Plugged In, our podcast. You just got back in from LA.
I did.
So tell me, I mean, you have had a journey, right? Mm-hmm. Like pageant journey, like life journey. I guess start with your pageant journey. Right. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on in your world there.
Yeah, I shared this with you earlier, but I got into pageantry because my dad would bring home the newspaper, and I saw all the girls in the Miss Barrow County Relay for Life pageant. And I would see those girls in the newspaper, and I begged my parents to let me do a pageant. And after a few years of begging, they finally said yes. And I did Miss Barrow County Relay for Life when I was about 10. I didn't wear a real pageant dress. I was like in a junior bridesmaid's dress, and I didn't win. I got first runner-up, but I had such an incredible experience, and it just has kind of snowballed from there ever since.
So take me back to, I know you just got back from LA, but before that, you competed in McDonough.
Yes.
And you were standing on stage, and you were holding hands with the first runner up. And take me there and tell me what was going through your mind when you were standing there waiting to hear who was the winner?
Oh, wow. It was such a surreal moment. I competed in the Miss Georgia Teen USA pageant twice as a teenager. And then I went to college. I went to nursing school. And after that, I kind of got the itch to try again. And after talking with my parents, we decided that we were going to give it a go. And I had done a lot of preparation and worked very hard. So to be standing there in the final 2, my first time in the Miss category was so surreal and just an incredible moment that I'll remember forever. There's actually a video of someone videoed my family and friends when I won, and that's an incredible video that I'll love to have forever. They jump up and scream, and it's great.
So I bet you were just over the moon. I mean,
yes.
Just so joyful.
Yes,
that's
I
wonderful.
was.
So you've mentioned your parents a lot. So let's get into some local Winder history, right?
Yes.
So your parents, you're homegrown. You are from Winder. So tell me, who are your parents?
My parents are Michael and Tara Farmer. My family owns Farmer's Prescription Shop in Winder. I've grown up in Winder. My parents both grew up in Winder. I've grown up working in my family's pharmacies. So I'm definitely a Winder local, happy and proud to be so.
And that business, the Farmer's Pharmacy, was your grandfather's before your father.
Yes, my grandfather open Farmer's prescription shop. I'm not sure which year. My dad's going to kill me. But then my dad went to pharmacy school and graduated and took it over from there and has been running it ever since.
Well, and in the medical field, right? So medicine, medical, you are a nurse and you are in school at Emory. So you're continuing your education in the healthcare field. I've read a lot about your platform from pageants. I've watched some of your interviews. And it was really compelling to me that you said you were in nursing class and you were listening to some of the symptoms of heart disease, correct? Right. So tell me about that and how you helped your father through that.
Yes. So I will never forget the moment I was sitting as a student in nursing school. I was in class. I was listening to a cardiovascular lecture and I was being a good student, taking all the notes. And I had an epiphany during the lecture and realized, oh my goodness, they're describing my own father. And I went home and talked to him and told him about what I had learned that day. And by the end of the night, he had 3 cardiac stents implanted. So it definitely was a surreal moment, a very eye-opening moment for my family. And what kind of snowballed after that was because I had also learned in that lecture that cardiovascular disease is hereditary and there is a genetic component. I sought care, and at 20 years old, as a healthy young woman who exercised every day, learned that I had severely elevated cholesterol levels, which absolutely put me at risk for heart disease. So that was really why I partner with the American Heart Association, how I got involved. And with working with them, I really just want to get the word out that, cardiovascular disease comes in all ages, shapes, and sizes. It's not just our parents' problem. It can be my generation's problem too.
Well, like you said, like you walking around a healthy 20-year-old, you're a nursing student, you eat right, you exercise, you would never think that, potentially I could have heart disease.
Right.
And I know the statistics say something like, heart disease is the number one killer of women.
Definitely.
Because over breast cancer, right?
Right. Definitely.
So that's huge. And you have done some legislation, right?
Yes.
You've launched a bill with a House bill. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So I had the privilege of going with the American Heart Association to our Georgia State Capitol and advocating for House Bill 874. And House Bill 874 would enact cardiac emergency response plans in all schools in Georgia. So those are plans set in place with AEDs in the instance that a cardiac emergency happened on campus for a student, a teacher, a faculty member, a visitor, anyone. And 70% of schools in Georgia don't have this. And so I advocated for the bill, and I'm so happy to say that it passed. So cardiac emergency response plans will be in all schools in Georgia. And as a woman in healthcare, it was so empowering to use my voice for change. And I'm so happy that the safety of our students, teachers, and school visitors is taken more seriously now.
That's wonderful. I think that sometimes we get into the motions of, let's be heart healthy. Yeah, let's eat the salad. Let's do this. But the things that you've shared, like you basically diagnosed your dad.
Right.
He had an issue. You went and sought your own care. So you really have done all of it, the groundwork, and then also giving legs to it where now school systems have a plan in place, right? We fail to our systems, and our systems, if they're not put in place, people could lose their life. So, you saying that you were a candidate of high cholesterol and that kind of stuff. I mean, what are the kind of things that you would encourage someone even younger than you or your age to do to make sure that they're taking good care of their heart and their cardiovascular system?
Right. So the number one thing I would recommend is just really being proactive in your health, going and seeing a doctor every year, getting a physical done, and getting your blood work done. And that is something that really helps, is seeing your numbers, knowing your risk factors and your family history, and really just talking to your doctor about it. Also, 10,000 steps a day. I'm a big proponent of that. I love walking my Labradoodle Rosie every day. That's my form of exercise. And so when you're getting 10,000 steps a day, it reduces the risk for breast cancer. It helps with women's fertility. It fights dementia. There's so many good things about just getting up and getting active and taking a walk every day.
Well, that's wonderful. Maybe we can walk around downtown here in a little bit. I'm so glad that you joined us because I have a really big question to ask you.
Okay.
I have a zinger, right? Okay. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
So we have this little thing every year here in downtown Winder along Broad Street called the Winder Christmas Parade. This year it's the 75th annual Winder Christmas Parade. Will you, Emmaline Farmer, be our Christmas Parade Grand Marshal this year?
Oh, I would absolutely love to.
Yay!
Yes,
so it wasn't too much of a zinger there to put you on the spot, but we will make sure you have all the information from our events director so that you can join us for that day.
Oh,
it is
excited.
on December 14th, so
okay.
It's not inside any of the Georgia football conflicts. So we make sure that there's no game on for you to miss. But tell me a little bit more about the future for Emmaline Farmer. You think you'll be living in Winder again? You think you're gonna keep pursuing your education? Because I know you're at Emory.
Yes.
You're studying to be. Tell me about that.
Yes, I will graduate in December from Emory's Master of Science in Nursing program, and I will be a family nurse practitioner. So I'm very excited, and I hope to stay in Winder. I love Winder and want to be close to my family. But truthfully, I just hope to be providing quality health care to whatever community I'm in.
That sounds wonderful. I think that with your knowledge, your professionalism, just, everything you've got going on is just so encouraging to me. And I hope to the people who watch this, the young women that watch this, if you were to, look at a younger version of yourself, what are some words of wisdom that you might give that younger you, or even a younger girl that's watching today? Because, you've got the crown, you've worked hard, you've taken a hold of the opportunities in front of you. So what would you tell that person?
I would just say trust the journey. My journey through my school to become Miss Georgia USA, it wasn't a perfect one. It came with many ups and downs and many trials and setbacks. So I would say trust the journey. God's got you, and just trust your journey.
Trust your journey.
Yes.
And that's really wise coming from someone who you're about 20 years my junior, but that is really a good piece of advice to hear from someone. You're so well-rounded. You're so grounded. I love that. You participated in some City Hall selfies with us today, so I'm so grateful that you're open to having some fun with us here at the city. And we wish you well. I wish you well personally, and I'm just eager to see how the rest of your journey goes.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for having me today.
Thanks for listening or watching to the City of Winder's new podcast, Plugged In. We hope you learned something new, and please make sure you share it with a friend. Hit that subscribe button so that you too can become a Winder insider, learning first about all the great things going on in the City of Opportunity.